Hey, this is Daz from the Frugal Gamer website and I'm back with another video, and this time we're going to be checking out the Nacon Revolution Unlimited Pro Controller for the PlayStation 4 and PC. I'll be basing this review solely on use with the PlayStation 4 as I don't have a Windows PC to test it on. This is an officially licensed PlayStation product that can be picked up from anywhere between £110 and £150 depending on what deals are available at the time. I was lucky enough to pick it up for £110 off Amazon. This can be used both wired or wirelessly, and you can use it on the PlayStation 4 and PC. I have reviewed previous versions of this controller, so I'm really interested to see if they've made any improvements. So let's take a look and see if this controller is worth its hefty price tag. So inside the box you'll find a few leaflets, plus you get the protective carry case that stores the controller. You also get some stickers, but there is no instruction manual, just a leaflet that tells you to visit the website for full instructions, and I thought this was a little bit lazy. The carry case is nice and sturdy, and I'd be more than happy to stick this in my backpack without the fear of the controller getting damaged. Inside the case you'll find a microfiber cleaning cloth, which believe me you're definitely going to need because this controller is a complete fingerprint magnet. You also get the controller itself, a USB dongle for playing in wireless mode, and a case for the accessories. In addition to that, you get a 3 meter USB-C braided nylon cable that can be used for wired gaming and charging the controller. This cable is really good quality, and I'm glad they've gone for the USB-A to USB-C cable this time rather than the micro USB version like they did on previous controllers. Then we have this little hard case that stores some of the weights that can be fitted inside the controller. Plus you get some alternative thumbstick heads and some metal shafts that allow you to change the range of movement of the thumbsticks themselves. The USB dongle is one of the things about this controller that does annoy me, as it's just so long, and even though you can fold it up, it's still just a bit of an eyesore. However, when it comes to functionality, it works perfectly. Setting it up takes under a minute as it's pretty much just plug and play, plus I've had no connection issues with the controller whatsoever. And as for the controller itself, I love the way it both looks and feels, and it's got a really nice premium finish, which it should do for the amount of money it costs. And as you can see here, this has a lot of features that you won't find on a standard DualShock 4 controller, and these are the things that makes these controllers so cool and expensive at the same time. The controller has this rubbery feeling exterior that feels really smooth and makes it extremely comfortable to hold, and my hands don't get sweaty at all when I'm playing with this. The shape is more like an Xbox One controller than it is the DualShock 4, plus it also has the staggered asymmetrical thumbsticks, which I prefer over the standard PlayStation layout. The thumbsticks are customizable, and you can swap the heads of the thumbsticks between the domed and concaved options to whatever you prefer. You also get these metal shafts that come in 3 different sizes, and these alter the amount of movement on the thumbsticks. You can also make further adjustments using the Nacon software, which we'll take a look at in a bit. It's just a matter of playing around with the different options to find your perfect setup. Once you've turned on the controller, you'll notice you'll get this cool light appear around the right thumbstick, and this is another thing that can be adjusted within the software. And one thing I did notice is the fact that this controller doesn't have a light bar like you get on the standard DualShock 4, so I don't know if this controller will track on PSVR. One of the other cool features is that you can fit these little weights inside the controller to alter how heavy it is. There's 3 different weight options and I personally prefer to go for the heaviest one. Fitting them is really easy. All you have to do is pop off these covers and insert the weights, and you can only fit 1 weight per side. Then you just refit the cover back onto the controller and you're ready to go. On the front of the controller you'll find everything that's on the DualShock 4, including the touchpad, the home, options and share buttons, plus the D-pad. And when it comes to the D-pad, this is one of the few things I'm disappointed in because it feels rather clunky and not as responsive as other controllers I've reviewed. So people that play fighting games might also be a bit disappointed. But all the other buttons on top of the controller are really good quality and feel nice and responsive, especially the circle, square, cross and triangle, and they're some of the nicest feeling buttons on any controller I've ever owned. I also think the thumbsticks are great too, and for me they have almost the perfect amount of sensitivity and control, and this is mainly thanks to the customization options. The quality is also present in the R2 and L2 triggers, as they have a good amount of resistance and spring to them. They're a really good quality feeling trigger, and the sensitivity can be adjusted in the software, but personally for me I found them spot on straight out of the box. And unlike many Pro controllers, this doesn't have physical trigger stops, but again you can kind of mimic this in the software. The R1 and R2 buttons are made using Omron switches, which are meant to be decent quality, but if I'm being very critical, they're a little bit too clicky for me and make quite a loud clicking noise when you're using them, and this can get rather annoying. But in terms of function, they do the job, so I can't really complain. When you flip around the controller, you'll find a lot of the things that makes this controller different from the DualShock 4. Firstly, you'll find the main reason I buy these controllers, and that is for the back buttons, and these are labelled S1, S2, S3 and S4, and these can be remapped to carry out the functions of nearly every other button on the controller. You can remap the buttons using the controller itself by holding down the profile button until it goes into setup mode. You can tell when this has happened as the LED indicators on the front of the controller starts to flash. Then all you need to do is hold down the back button that you want to program, plus any other button that you want to map to it, and then when you're done, you just press the profile button again to store your settings. This can also be done via the software on your PC or Mac. I do like the back buttons, but they're very small and oddly situated, which really annoyed me to start with, but now I've got used to them. I just wish they made the buttons bigger and put them in a more easily accessible place. On the back you'll also find the profiles button where you can swap between 4 custom profiles. There's also a PC and PS4 mode toggle switch and a wired and wireless mode switch. Plus you'll find the headphone socket and the controls for chat volume and the mute button. You'll know when the chat is muted as the lights on the front of the controller flash red. So now let's take a look at the software, which can be downloaded from the Nacon website. This can be downloaded onto Windows PC and Mac, but it's worth remembering that you can only access the customization options on the Mac. Playing with the controller is not supported, unfortunately. You can only do this on the PS4 and PC. Once you've downloaded the software and connected your controller, there are loads of customization options. These include remapping the buttons, changing the sensitivity and dead zones of the thumbsticks and the triggers, changing the colour, brightness, speed and effect of the LED lights, and you can program the left thumbstick to carry out the function of the right and vice versa. It's well worth sitting down for 20 minutes and going through all the customization options, as it's way too much to go over in this video. And overall, I'm really impressed with the software and how easy it is to set up the controller, and there's just so many customizations to choose from. You can even change the intensity of the vibration feature, and that goes to show just how detailed this is. So to round up my thoughts, I think this is a great controller. It does have a few design flaws, but these are way outnumbered by the good things about the controller. It feels like a good quality product, and for me it's worked flawlessly with no connectivity or performance issues at all. The battery lasts longer than the DualShock 4, even with all the extra features, and the charging times are pretty good too. For me, the features and customizations make it worth the money I paid for it, but it is expensive, and if you have the money, I highly recommend it. I will do another quick review in 6 months to see how this is holding up, so I'll see you then. Thanks for checking out this video, and please remember to take a look at our other videos and maybe even subscribe. Don't forget to check out our website at frugalgaming.co.uk, where we list all the best prices for games, subscriptions, consoles and accessories.